Hey guys, Susan Thomas, and today I want to teach you how to make a beaded chain. Okay, so today we're going to work out how to make a beaded chain. That's kind of a pretty simple way to make any type of jewelry. You can use a beaded chain to make an earring. You can use it to make a necklace like this one. You can use it to make a bracelet. It's just a really fun way to add color to your jewelry, and I think you guys will really enjoy learning how to do it. Also, if you are a jewelry maker or designer and you have something that we call bead soup, it's a great way to use up your leftover beads because you can just do random patterns and have a lot of fun with it. So, in order to get started with this, you're going to need a few basic wire wrapping tools. You're going to need a round nose plier, a chain nose plier, and you're going to need your basic flush cutter. And then for my project today, I am using my own personal bead soup that I brought in for the project. And so you can see I have lots of great colors here, and I've already started to lay out a pattern. And then I'm also going to be using 24 gauge wire. What we're going to be doing today is just a basic wire wrap. It's a simple wire connector. And you guys may have seen me wear this necklace before. A lot of people really like it, but you can see this is just a random pattern of beads. But when you put it all together, it looks really pretty. All right, so the most fun thing about making a beaded chain to me is kind of coming up with your pattern. And this one that I have here that I made before it's probably one of my favorite necklaces just because I like the pattern. But so I decided I'd recreate something similar in a little bit brighter pattern using my bead soup. So you can see here, I don't have to have all the same shape beads, but you want to have something that kind of pulls it all together. So like I've got my colors here, every 1, 2, 3, 4th bead, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got a yellowish color. And every 4th bead, I've got a darker blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, see? But you want to make sure that there's at least one bead that repeats all the way through the necklace. And that's what I'm doing with these white beads. And that's going to pull the whole thing together for you. And then all you need to do is learn how to do a basic wire connector to bring all of this together. So in order to do that, I'm going to use some 24 gauge wire. And I've just cut myself about 6 inches of wire. It takes about 3 inches of wire to make a basic connector, maybe a little bit more for one of these longer beads. So I usually will work off a longer piece of wire, but it's easier for me to show you just on a shorter piece like this. So I'm going to grab it with my round nose plier. And one thing that's really important that I need to show you is I have this round nose plier marked right here. And the reason I'm marking it is because I want all of the loops and coils to be the same. And I'm just going to show you on this piece right here how all of my loops are essentially the same size. And then all my coils are the same. So I have 3 coils on each side of every bead. And it makes it look more professional and just a lot more finished. So this is 24 gauge wire, which is about 1/2 millimeter. I'm going to grab it about 1.5 inches from the end. And I'm going to bend that into a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to come up and over the bend, and I'm going to roll that back towards myself just till the wire is in another 90-degree angle. So let me hold that out there. See how I've got that 90-degree angle, and then I have that half circle right there. And then I'm going to place plier back in there and bring the wire back around the round nose plier. So I'm using it kind of like a mandrel. And there you see I have my little loop, and then this part right here is going to be the part that I wrap around underneath that loop. So I'm going to re-grasp this, and I am going to wrap 1, 2, 3 times. And to make this pretty, you need to make sure you do those 3 wraps every single time. So then I'm going to trim off that extra wire, just like so, and I'm going to get my first bead, and one of those white ones. Pop that on there just like so. Now, I'm going to re-grasp the other side of the wire. Now, here's where things get a little bit tricky. I'm working on my mark. So I'm going to grab right on my mark, and that's going to give me the same amount of space on the opposite side. So I'll have the same number of coils. I'm going to bend that back into a 90-degree angle, up and over the bend, about 1/8 inch past the bend, and roll back towards myself into that half circle and 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to bring the wire down and around, and then switch tools, grab with the chain nose plier, and wrap 1, 2, 3 times and see how perfect and even that is. So that's kind of the key to making it pretty, even though you're using all different beads. And of course you don't have to use all different beads. You can go all the same beads if you want to, but we're gonna go random today. Now I'm gonna show you how to connect your connectors, because obviously we're making a chain. So 90-degree angle, roll it back towards yourself, down and around into a full circle. Now, while that's still open, what you're gonna do is you're going to slide that connector into that loop, and then you're gonna use gravity to hold that out of the way, and you're gonna regrasp your loop. So see, that's kind of out of the way there. Regrasp with your chain nose plier, and then you're gonna wrap 1, 2, 3 times. And now it's connected. Trim off the extra wire, like so, and then take your next bead and pop it on the wire. So now you can see I'm getting started with my chain. And this bead's a little bit bigger, but it's exactly the same. You're still gonna work on your mark. You're still gonna bend it back into a 90-degree angle and bring that back into a half circle, wrap it around, regrasp, wrap it around 3 times, just like so. And I always take them at this point and make sure that both my loops are going the same direction. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys something. I'm gonna cut another 6 inches of wire, and I'm gonna continue making this necklace. I'm gonna go along and do all these connectors. But if you're in a little bit of a hurry, there are beaded chains out there that are already made for you. This is an example of one that has some pink opal in it. And you can use this as a section in your own beaded chain to make it longer, faster. So you can see I could connect that right there, and I could make this chain a lot longer, a lot faster without having to do quite so many wraps. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna connect this next bead, and I'm gonna show you how to connect it to the chain. So what you're gonna do, same thing, we're just gonna bend that into our 90-degree angle, roll back towards yourself into a half circle. This time I am not taking my plier out of the circle, because I usually do not. I just do that to show you guys. And then I'm gonna bring it around into the full circle, just like so, and I'm gonna attach it to the chain I've already started first, and then grab with the chain nose pliers and wrap 1, 2, 3 times. You see how I'm being really consistent with this. One thing about these pre-made beaded chains is somebody is really good at it, because they're always super consistent. Much more consistent than me, but you know, can't all be perfect. Here we go. So I'm gonna put that on there, and then I'm gonna make the loop on the other side, still working on my mark, so you don't change anything just because you're adding a pre-made chain. Bend that back into a 90-degree angle, roll, wrap, and now while that's still open, I'm gonna take this pre-made chain here, and I'm gonna put it on the end of my wire and run that up into that circle. And then I am going to regrasp that and wrap 3 times, just like so. So see what I've done now? I've added in a piece of chain, a length of chain that's made it twice as long without even having to, without having to do anything, because that chain was already made. And you can add regular chain too. I just think it's kind of cool to add that beaded chain because it gives you just a different look. So I've just about gotten this long enough to make a bracelet. I'm gonna add one last bead on here just to make it just the right length for a bracelet. I kind of ran into a couple little problems and things that you guys need to know about. This bead right here, the hole was a little bit too big, so I had to put an extra wrap on there to keep it from popping through. And that's something that's really important to know, because I mean, you're gonna look at that and say, oh, you know, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look the same as the others. But I did that just to keep that bead from falling through, which would look worse. All right, so I'm just gonna do that last bead there, and just gonna come into my little circle, and you'll notice they're not perfect. Some of my loops aren't exactly the same size, like I went a little large on that one. But you know, the more careful you are and the more consistent it is, the better it will look. But you don't have to be 100% perfect. So there it is, last one all fixed up, and I'm gonna trim off that last wire, and then I'm just gonna go back through and make sure I don't have any little pieces of wire sticking out next to the beads. And then you can see, let's see here. Yeah, so that's gonna be a cute little bracelet. Perfect length. So I think this little bracelet turned out pretty cute. I'm gonna finish it off and I'm probably gonna wear it. I like it with my outfit. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make beaded chain. And don't forget some of the supplies and tools that you're going to need. You will need your basic wire wrapping tools, your chain nose plier, and your round nose plier. And then of course you're going to need a flush cutter. To me, the best thing to do when you're working with a chain like this is to have some bead soup, and that's what I've been working from right here. Just lots of different colors of beads, different stones, different ideas, different colors. And then I'm working from a spool of 24 gauge wire to make my beaded chain. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys would like to pick up some supplies like the ones we worked with today, check out the links down below. What kind of beads would you put on your beaded chain? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.